What's up everyone, I'm Steph and this is the episode 6 of my IVF special edition vlogs. In this episode I'm going to be talking about the follow-up post-mortem appointment that my husband and I attended with one of the doctors of the fertility clinic we've been followed so far. I created an index about all the topics that I'm going to be touching during this video, and you can find it in the information box below. Also, there's a playlist if you click on the information button over here, where you can find all the other previews and following episodes of this special IVF vlogs. Hi there! It's been 11 days now since I got my embryo, my 5 days embryo transferred back. This is the day of the pregnancy test. I woke up very early in the morning today to do the test because I couldn't wait, although I had a feeling of what the test would show. Since day 4, after the transfer, I started spotting, and the spotting was very light and super pink. During the week, it has gotten a bit heavier, nothing that resembles a period, but the spotting turned a little into bleeding. It's like I'm having a super light period on and off with cramps and the sensation of PMS and period actually happening. I also called the clinic 2 days ago and they told me that if it's not a period per se, we still have hopes. I had the feeling that even if it's not a period per se, we are talking about a dead end. And in fact, I did the pregnancy test and it came negative. As you can imagine, I am hating this because I think it's not fair. There's nothing we can do. I really badly want to blame myself, but I think I didn't do anything to harm this process. And I also know that whatever I do, anything would affect this. It's either the egg implants or not. There's nothing in our process that we can do to help it. I emailed the clinic because it's Sunday, and I asked what the next steps are. Probably I just need for now to suspend all the progesterone and the estrogen pills and the big suppositories that I'm taking. We still have 4 frosties, so probably today I am going to feel sad and angry and depressed and blaming myself and the universe and then bloody blastocyst that was supposed to be the best one, and yet it failed. So I know that I'm allowed to feel everything that I'm feeling now, but I know that I am a warrior and I never give up. When I'm going to talk with the people at the clinic, the first thing that I'm going to ask them is, what's the next step? When can I implant the other frosty? I am a performer, I am a perfectionist, and I don't allow myself to fail. I don't allow things to put themselves between me and what I want to achieve. I promise you that the next time, if I can do anything to make that be better, I'll do it. Even if it's going to, well, if it's going to be taking another pessaries. Okay, I said it, right? Okay, that would be the third one, but I can do it because it bothers me that all this process has failed. Today, I am allowed to be sad and angry and everything, but tomorrow, it's again game time. So just to have a quick recap of that, I had a very successful IVF cycle for hyperstimulate my ovaries. So we retrieved 14 eggs. Out of those 14, 9 got fertilized, and 5 of them made to the 5-day embryo status. The staff took one embryo that they reckoned was the best one to implant it in my womb, and they froze the other 4. They were really positive and they thought that everything would have gone okay. Unfortunately, it looked like we will never know what happened for real, but apparently the embryo hatched, but probably it wasn't able to grow as expected due to genetic hiccups, and then it didn't make it. I had a sort of let's call it miscarriage. I had to suspend all the hormone therapy that I was taking to help this embryo survive. After a couple of days that I suspended the therapy, I had a massive bleeding, like a period, but lasting a bit longer, and it was a bit heavier than usual. The clinic wanted to see me after about 10 days for a follow-up and to check on me and my husband, especially mentally wise, because I have to admit that it's been a very devastating experience. The success rates were very high, provided my physical status and my womb lining status, and also the fact that with a very small dosage of hormones, I was able to mature 14 eggs, and also the rate of the fertilization and the numbers of frozen embryos and the embryos that made it to the stage 5 is very high, considering also that I'm 34. All this considered, the projection of a successful embryo transfer was very high, and yet we failed. We got unlucky. It was really unfortunate, and this can be even more devastating for other couples and other people. But I cried for a couple of days, and then I found comfort in my friends, in my husband, in my parents, because I eventually shared this with them, and talking especially with my mother gave me a sense of serenity. And then the sadness went away, and I was so angry and upset. When we spoke with the doctor at appointment, he felt I am ready to start with the next attempt as soon as possible. He said that he could feel the energy coming out of me, so I'm not depressed and I just want to start trying again. Now we've got 4 frosties, we've got 4 embryos frozen at the clinic. The doctor agreed to start the FET, the frozen embryo transfer, as soon as possible. He also acknowledged them physically, I'm okay as well, and it's really true. We are going to start the protocol, the FET protocol, right after Christmas. The protocol will start with having me bleeding and have a sort of a fake cycle from where to start the rest of the FET protocol, because our goal is first of all to get a decent lining in the womb to host the Frosty. I am going to be under Provera, which is a hormone, for about 7 days. After those 7 days, I have to stop taking Provera, and after a couple of days, I should be starting to bleed. 2 days after the menses start, I will start taking progesterone and estrogen. I'm going to have a scan in the meantime to check on the lining, and when the womb lining is ready, they are going to transfer a frozen embryo, and we'll take it from there. The doctor told us that it's very unlikely that another embryo will fail, but we'll never know. We've been unlucky once, we've got chances to be unlucky again, so we will see. In the meantime, I have to brace myself, because I checked my history of all the attempts to get me ovulate and have me bleeding over the last 2.5 years, and I unfortunately find out that the worst time ever with all these attempts was with the Provera. So I have already experienced the Provera nightmares. I basically cancelled from my brain the majority of the memories of those days. Anyways, at this round, I know what I'm going to face with the Provera, so I'm ready. And anyways, nothing will be worse than losing another embryo. We are going to do everything that needs to be taken to make sure that Frosty will survive. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!